Again, no riddles. My apologies. Just trying to get some sleep tonight so I can be awake tomorrow. Here we go. Y squared equals 2x. Probably you got to here, and you can go ahead and stop there. If you divided both sides by r, you should do that. Like I said, simplify the obvious things. If you can divide out any common factors, please do. And then if you left it like this, fine. Sometimes you get the r by itself. If it's multiple choice, you might see this, or you could see this guy right here. So you should know how to get from one to the other without too much trouble. And then the second problem I had you try from converting from rectangular to polar is this guy here. And I just, every time for the x I replaced it with r cosine, for the y r sine, and then we get this. I just left it alone. That's fine. Nothing that is obviously something we can simplify. So again, I just wanted to point out one more time that converting to polar means that there are no x's and y's. Polar means no x's and y's. Polar doesn't understand x's and y's. It's like saying convert from or translate this from English to Spanish, and you have something like, where's the baño? You know, it's like, that's, what did I say? Hold on, it's late. Convert from English to Spanish. So, ¿dónde está el baño? Okay, well that's where's the bathroom, and then but you wouldn't say ¿dónde está el bathroom? Okay, because that has some English and Spanish in it. Okay, so when you are converting from one language, the rectangular language, to the polar language, you're not going to have any rectangular language left over. It's all going to be polar. So please keep that in mind. Hopefully that analogy is something that you can sink your teeth into. And then the last two problems, that first one where I said, wow, that sine theta plus 1, that's kind of a tricky one, and I would totally agree with you that that is a tricky one. Normally we're not going to convert from polar to rectangular if there's just an r there. Normally there's a way to get rid of that r, but in this case there was not. So this worked right up here. If you do start with r squared, that's fine, but take the square root of both sides, square root of r squared is r, and then the right side is radical x squared plus y squared. So I couldn't get rid of that r, so I just went ahead and left it as radical x squared plus y squared. Not a really pleasant looking equation. In fact, you would never convert this equation to rectangular because the rectangular version of this equation is just so complicated. So the only time you would do this is in one of these problems in which you have to convert from polar to rectangular. So it doesn't really have any practical applications other than helping you remember what those conversion equations are, which in itself is helpful. Okay, so anyway, keep in mind these are just practice exercises to help you get used to converting from one to the other. And then the last problem, I multiplied both sides by r, like I did in the first problem, multiplying both sides by r. Same thing, multiply both sides by r, and then this one should be an easy conversion if you distributed the r properly. And so you see what we get here. And we will do some more, like I said, we'll play some Battleship tomorrow in class, and hopefully you're not staying up too late like I am. You're getting more sleep than I am. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.